to the Cinementalists. Noun, plural. Definition, those whose love for movies runs so deep, they can't help but do a podcast about them. Hosted by Colton Robertson and Joseph George. Hello everybody and welcome in to the Cinementalists, where today we are doing part 7 of our top 100 favorite actors of all time. This is the 30s, working our way from the bottom of the list to the top, from 39 to 30. I'm very excited. 6 parts already available, 100 through 40 already available. You got to go check it out if you haven't. I'm Colton Robertson. I'm joined by Joseph George. What's up, homie?
Mm-hmm. Oh, what up, what up? Always a pleasure to be here.
Oh, and it is always a pleasure to have you. And, I mean, I know we say this with each passing episode, but it's getting fucking real. Every single one of these, it gets harder and harder to cross them off the list almost. It all feels too low now. The higher we get on the list, I'm like, you shouldn't already be here, but here you are, and that's just the way I feel, and it sucks. And the list is so fluid that someone, you know, who could have crept onto your list since we started this project, unfortunately had to be left out because he wasn't there when it started, or she wasn't there when it started, or they weren't there when it started. So I do want to start with a couple of people that you feel bad aren't here.
Yeah.
Hit me.
One just hit me right before we started recording, or yesterday. I saw Kid Cudi in concert live, finally. Scratched off my bucket list. And I did have Donald Glover. He was, I don't know, in the 70s. Where was he? He was 58. Okay, so I mean, I had him up there, pretty high. But I recognize Donald Glover as an actor a lot more. That was kind of more top of mind than Cudi, and I can't believe it that when Donald Glover crossed my mind that Cudi didn't kind of go in there as well. But his movies, yeah, I guess Westworld, very small role there. And then like the horror movies, or like the X movies, or I guess those. I haven't seen those yet.
Yeah, I mean, pretty solid. I like that movie.
Yeah, but I think I love Cudi. You know, he's my dude. But the acting chops, if I got to give it to Donald Glover or him, I think I'm going Donald Glover. So
yeah, and you're making the right choice there. Yeah. I also quite enjoy Scott Mescudi. But no, I mean he's not the actor that Donald Glover is. Yeah, that's for sure.
Yes. Yeah. So, does he really deserve the top 100 actors? Probably not. You know, that he would only be on here for my pure love as him as an artist and human. So I think kind of a one that is fair to leave. You know, I would love him to be on here, but I think it is just it's not in the spirit of the list here.
I completely get that. I completely get that. Yeah, and it's tough. When I'm gonna hit you with a couple of just absurd, classic heavy hitters who I simply have not seen in enough movies, and that's my fault. You know, it's my fault. That's on me. I gotta watch more movies with them in it. Anything that I've seen with them in it, I've absolutely loved it, and I haven't made the effort, and I gotta put the effort in. It's my responsibility as a fan of movies. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. I do not have Paul Newman or Robert Redford.
Okay.
And they are icons, like two absolute zeniths of acting. And I almost feel bad revealing this early that I don't have them, because I feel like there's going to be people who are like, oh, I don't care to listen to the rest of this if you don't have Paul Newman and Robert Redford. And again, that's just on me. I've never even seen Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. I know. I know. But I've seen The Sting. I love The Sting. And I've seen a few Paul Newman roles and a few Robert Redford roles, but just not nearly enough for me to feel like I can properly assess that I've seen them at their best. You know what I'm saying? I've seen them and they've been really good, but I haven't watched the essentials, and I need to get around to the essentials before I can comfortably say, yes, those are top 100 favorite performers of mine ever. So yeah, I don't have Paul Newman or Robert Redford. I know, put a gun to my head, pull the trigger, but what are you going to do?
Yeah, I think I haven't really seen many of them either. Someone's really mad at you. They said you better fucking put them on
immediately
the
microphone. They were like, nope, no, I gotta flag this.
This is not okay. But yeah, it's. I mean, I think it's kind of like a Larry Bird example here, where I recognize that dude was great, but I haven't seen him play. I don't know. I barely seen Jordan play either, anyways. But
you've seen a lot more of Jordan than you have Larry Bird. Yeah,
because of that. So it's kind of like it's like I know they're good, and like I've heard the talk, but it's just,
and they're white, just like Larry Bird. So even better comparison. Yeah,
yeah. So, but yeah, I don't have them either. I guess I've seen less than you, but yeah, in the same boat there, where it's like, yeah, I mean, I guess maybe for my other one, I don't know if I brought him up already on people that I didn't have, but maybe a pretty damn big hitter in the game, still working. This Al Pacino, I didn't quite get on my list. So yeah, I know this one is a big one, and De Niro almost didn't make it.
You had De Niro
pretty low.
Yeah,
it was pretty low. So like out of Al Pacino and De Niro, like I feel like I've Taxi Driver. There's a couple more De Niro roles that I could feel like I could, I don't know, attach on to a little bit more. But it was always like I'm watching a great at their work, and like it really didn't. I don't know. It's a weird feeling with Pacino and De Niro that I kind of have.
I get that. I do have Pacino. And I also have De Niro. I haven't mentioned De Niro, and I told you whenever you did bring up De Niro that I do have De Niro. So, one thing that has been incredibly fruitful for me, a couple years, or I guess a year and a half ago, we did the top 100 films of the 2020s, and I was very pleased then that we only had like 50 something films that overlapped. Which is still a lot of the list. That's still a lot of movies that are overlapping. And we've had a lot of actors who are on both of our lists. But one of the things that I love most is that we are pretty far spaced as far as you have them towards the bottom, or I have them towards the bottom, and you had them a little bit more the middle, or I had them a little bit more the middle, or towards the top. And it's been nice to see just how differently we evaluate these performers, because this is such a subjective, this is such a subjective game we're playing. To evaluate an actor based on how much you like them is there's hardly anything more subjective in the world. So I've really enjoyed that aspect of this. Now that you've brought up that Pacino is off your list, it only anchors a few spots that I have just like, holy shit. I wonder who else you don't have, just because you haven't mentioned a few people. And I'm like, well, if you don't have Pacino, I feel like you probably don't have this person. And I'm like, that's so interesting to me. So I'm excited to hear. Is ultimately what I'm saying. And with that, I would like you to take us on in with your 39.
Okay. All right. Well, 39, I believe, has already been brought up before. I think it was one of a real slot on your list, I think. This is where I have Tom Hanks at 39. Good old Forrest Gump. Good old recent, the most recent edition, which I really loved, The Green Mile, which was one meeting long to get to. Was nice to see him there. But kind of, a guy that's been in the game, I'd say compared to like De Niro and Al Pacino is like, no, like how do you have Tom Hanks above Al Pacino and Robert De Niro? And
he's
it's like,
the everyman. He's a crowd pleaser, baby. Yeah,
I don't know. That was Woody as I'm growing up. That's the Polar Express. Like 5 different characters in the Polar Express. That's this guy was just kind of from childhood kind of cinched in, and then like Wilson, or like seeing him. I remember when I saw Castaway, like I'm like, this feels wrong. I'm like, that's Woody. I'm like, that can't, that actors, that's not allowed. I'm like, that, you can't do that. But but yeah, it's so. I mean, he's just kind of that everyman, and then
Massive
but
blind spot for me. I've still never seen
Mm.
Castaway.
And yeah, it's been. I mean, it's been well over a decade. That's for sure since I've seen it. But yeah, no. I mean, Wilson, and then the look of him is kind of the only two things that I can really remember, and that he worked for FedEx, I think, or
Yep,
it was a
you've already got me
FedEx
beat there.
plane that crashed, maybe.
Yeah.
Something like that. But yeah, I barely remember anything of it either. But it's just kind of off of the childhood prowess alone for kind of Tom Hanks.
I mean, he's an icon, you know.
Yeah,
He is.
and Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump, a quintessential one. The Green Mile, like you brought up a little bit ago. Sleepless in Seattle is one of my favorite rom-coms ever. I absolutely adore that one. Tom Hanks, you can't really go wrong there, and I'm glad you brought him up. I haven't brought him up yet. I have not brought up Tom Hanks yet. So that was the first. I think we might have tangentially, maybe because of the Green Mile and somebody in it came up. I can't remember, but I feel like I remember. I feel like I remember Tom Hanks being mentioned at some point, but it was not because he was on a list or left off. But I like that. I like that pick there with Tom Hanks at 39. It's definitely a good way to kick off the episode, and a heavy hitter to have that low. And again, that low top 40 is still obscene. Like it's some of your favorites of all time. So hard to gripe. But in this one, again, all of them feel too low. I know I'm probably going to say that the whole episode. They all feel too low. But this at 39, I have an actress who I've just had the softest spot for my whole life, essentially, like as far back as I can remember. I remember when I was, I believe, 13, I got a new baseball bat. It was a beautiful baseball bat. It was this DeMarini, and it was all black, and it had blue lettering, and I can't remember what it was. I can't remember the specific name of the model, but it was a DeMarini, and it was like blue, and it had this sort of like, you know, not digital camo, but like this sort of, you remember the game Geometry Dash?
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
It had that sort of like geometric pattern going on with the blue in it. And I named this bat after this actress. At 39, I have Rachel McAdams. I named the bat Rachel. It was I was like 13. I was like, this bat's Rachel. This thing's fucking beautiful. You know, like that was I was like, this thing is too beautiful for this world. That's Rachel McAdams. I fucking love Rachel McAdams, and I have for, I mean, since The Notebook really that was definitely my earliest exposure to Rachel McAdams, starring opposite Ryan Gosling, who I brought up as someone I do not have on the list. So just to give you a frame of reference there for how much I value Rachel McAdams. I fell in love with her via The Notebook. Mean Girls, she was the original Regina George. That's a quintessential entry in my mind for her. I recently got a first viewing in for her as well. That's been something I've been doing with this exercise, is trying to watch as many things for the first time with people I do have on the list to see if they move at all. And there has come a point now where that stopped. They don't move anymore, regardless of what else I add under my belt. And unfortunately, it didn't move her up, but it was a movie called Disobedience, which is about her and Rachel Weisz, who I brought up as someone I don't have either earlier and kind of regretted that. They are closeted queer characters brought up as Orthodox in an Orthodox Jewish church, basically. And it's like forbidden for them to be together, and it's, you know, it's forbidden romance. I love that sort of thing. So very, very good movie. Also has Alessandro Nivola. Good stuff. But Rachel McAdams, About Time. I don't think you've seen About Time.
I have not.
There are very few movies I would recommend. Like, don't look up a fucking thing about it. Don't check it out. Just go fucking watch it. And this isn't the type of movie you would typically expect that with. Like, that's typically like horror movies you hear that about. This is a romance. This is a romance movie. But I don't want you to know a thing about it because the premise is so fun and original, and you would love it. About Time. It's him and it's her and Domhnall Gleeson, who played Admiral Hux in in The Force Awakens and the sequel trilogy. they're the leads in it. It's got a small Margot Robbie part. It's from the same year as Wolf of Wall Street, so it was before she really took off, and Margot Robbie's just kind of in it, which is funny to see her not be the leading lady. Wow. But yeah, Rachel McAdams, Multiverse of Madness, and Doctor Strange, and most recently Send Help, the Sam Raimi feature where she's stranded on a deserted island with Dylan O'Brien. That's a super fun movie. I've just never not liked her, you know. And one of my favorite performances, if not my favorite performance of hers, is another comedy because she is so fucking funny. Game Night. Have you ever seen Game Night? Jason Bateman, Jesse Plemons.
Game Night.
The one where Jesse Plemons says, "How can that be profitable for Frito-Lay?" That's that movie.
I remember the line, or I know the line. I guess I don't know if it is actually from the movie or not.
Yeah, that's it might not be. It's such a funny line that it's gotten a lot of publicity.
It has transcended the movie. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, she has a delivery in that movie that just fucking kills me. A Game Night is about a game night that goes horribly awry, and someone thinks they're doing like an escape room, you know, murder mystery sort of thing, and then someone actually gets kidnapped, and they still think they're part of the game, and like they play along like it's not real, but it's all real, and like it's very funny. But someone gets sucked into a plane engine from the ground.
Ooh, okay, yeah.
And she's real excited because this guy was gonna hurt her, you know. But like she's in like game mode, so she shoves him, and he gets like sucked up by the plane and gets sucked into it and dies. She goes, "Yeah, whoa!" And then she goes, "Oh no, he died!" And it's like the funniest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. I love Rachel McAdams, and you just Game Night, About Time, just a laundry list of movies that you need to watch with her in it. So got her at 39.
Yeah, I mean, it's bad. I haven't even seen The Notebook yet, so that's like, I mean, that I feel like that's like you gotta see
one of the first movies that I recall making me not the first movie to ever make me cry, but it was the first one that I cried and I didn't really understand what was happening to me. You know, like I was like, I remember I watched the movie in my living room with my mom at my old house. We got all the way to the end, and I looked at her and I was like, yeah. And then I got up and I walked to my room and I sat on my bed and I just fucking broke down. Like I lost it, and I was like, why am I feeling like this? You know, it's so good though. I mean, like, and I haven't watched that movie in years, but I remember it very fondly. Yeah, and Rachel McAdams is a big reason why.
Okay, well, going on to someone who doesn't really make me cry ever, I don't think. Well, maybe I take that back. There's one movie where I kind of get there. Maybe I don't know. Maybe that was a kind of a weird statement to say over someone who's so working. But the pretty big name in the game, but this is as high as he could get for me, is where I have Brad Pitt. Good old, yeah, I mean, Fight Club. I mentioned Ed Norton, or Fight Club a little bit ago. That used to kind of just be one of my favorite movies there was. But one that I liked a little more than Fight Club, and that I still like to this day, is Seven. I don't. It's just I like the concept of it. It's gritty. There's some Batman inspiration from that movie. So it kind of, like, I already liked it, and then the Batman came out and kind of revitalized it a little bit. But Brad Pitt, kind of another, I think why I had him by Tom Hanks here is kind of like, these are two just kind of every actor. They just play a lot of roles, and they're good at what they do. But I do like Brad Pitt a little bit more, like a Moneyball movie or something like that. Like, that's one of just my favorite sports movies of all time.
Great movie,
Great there.
Movie. You've never even seen the best Brad Pitt performance ever.
Oh, F1, the movie is what you're right.
Fuck no. No, that's come at the point in Brad Pitt's career these last couple years where he's just, again, he's fallen into the same category as a lot of guys, which is that he's just playing the same guy in a different font. But the best Brad Pitt performance ever is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That is the best Brad Pitt performance. I love that movie, and there's actually a sequel to that movie coming out in December on Netflix. The Adventures of Cliff Booth, which is Brad Pitt's character. directed by David Fincher, who did Seven. So there you go. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Written by Tarantino, of course, but he wasn't comfortable making that his last movie, you know. He didn't want to make that what he ended on. Fucking loser. But
that guy is weird. But yeah, no, good old yeah. I need to get to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I do love him.
Well, we might,
Babylon.
you know, just for the sake of covering both of those, because that's really, really good movies. Babylon, dude, fuck yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's. I mean, Brad Pitt. I don't think there's like everyone knows Brad Pitt. Yeah, if you're born today, you just know of Brad Pitt and that he's
Mizzou alum, baby.
Really? I actually
MIZ.
didn't know that.
Yep.
Wow. Okay.
Yep. I had a friend growing up whose dad had an acting class with Brad Pitt and got a better grade than him, and he always brings it up as like a dinner conversation piece.
That's a good two truths and a lie, Ian.
Yeah,
Or like,
I got a better grade than Brad Pitt in acting class. Yeah.
It's like, okay, sure, bud. It's like, well, damn. Yeah, that's. But well, no offense against the friend's dad, but we're referring to him as the friend's dad and not Brad Pitt.
Not Brad Pitt. Yeah.
So, but that's okay. You know, Brad Pitt is Brad Pitt. I mean, look at that guy. Look at him in Fight Club, and then and then you're like, oh, okay.
I mean, look at him now. I mean, Jesus. You know,
that's true.
Like, it's kind of obscene how good looking a man that is.
Ocean's 11. Oh my god, I forgot about
Ocean's
that.
11. Burn After Reading. I don't know that you've ever seen that one either. Hilarious Brad Pitt performance. He's in that with John Malkovich and Tilda Swinton and George Clooney and Frances McDormand and just a laundry list of brilliant performers. And he is so fucking funny in it. Like there's a line delivery where he's like a real idiot. He's so dumb in the movie. And he rides a bike everywhere, and they're like blackmailing a former CIA agent with information that he left behind at the gym. They think it's important. It's not important, but he doesn't know that. Neither of them know that. And so John Malkovich like yells at him. He's like, "You get back on your fucking Schwinn bike and ride your ass on out of here." And Brad Pitt goes, "You think that's a Schwinn?" And it's the funniest, again, one of the funniest line deliveries I've ever heard in my fucking life. So Brad Pitt, great choice. Can't go wrong there. I've not brought up Brad Pitt, and I will not bring up Brad Pitt. I don't have Brad Pitt. And that's just not for any reason in particular. Just kind of I liked a lot of movies with him in it. And I've liked him in a lot of movies, but I don't know. It might just be that I haven't watched a movie with him recently that I was just like, oh yeah, that's it. You know, maybe it's because F1 is my most recent Brad Pitt movie, and the whole Oscar nom and everything left a bad taste in my mouth. But yeah.
These, F1 shouldn't think or like envelop him all as F1 now, because he's if he's there, at that point in his career, he's just cashing a check. He's cashing. Check.
I mean, and again, not a bad movie by any stretch.
Some people love that
movie.
Solid movie.
I don't know. It's by Joseph Kosinski, who did Top Gun Maverick, and he did Tron Legacy. Like it's a good movie, but it was not a Best Picture nom, and that's ultimately what left a bad taste in my mouth. But I like that pick at 38 nonetheless, and I've got somebody at 38 who I know you love, and I know you have. I don't think you've mentioned him yet, though.
Okay.
And I'm pleased with the fact that I actually have him lower than you. I thought I might end up getting you here. But really? 38's where I have Stellan Skarsgård.
Okay. I thought it was someone else. But okay, still. Yes, no, he will come later, but okay.
Yes, I love Stellan Skarsgård, and most recently Sentimental Value, just an amazing performance that I cannot get enough of. The Dune movies as the big bad Harkonnen. You love to see that. Of course, Andor, Luthen Rael is essential Stellan Skarsgård work. Mamma Mia, wonderful performance in a really fun movie. Of course, I mean, I always forget he was in the MCU. Eric Selvig. He rolled with Thor and Jane Foster and all that for a while.
Yeah.
Like it's
Wow.
I don't go to that for him.
Bit. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. He runs around in his underwear in the Avengers movie or something like that, but it's a lot of fun. Yeah, but the movie that I watched recently that severely underrated was remade by one of America's biggest directors, if not its biggest director living and working right now. Remade with Al Pacino and Robin Williams a couple years after it. Insomnia. He was in the original Norwegian version of that movie before Christopher Nolan remade it 5 years later for an American audience. I believe it's Norwegian. I don't want to speak. Yes, it's Norwegian. So good, and he is frightening in it. Like a little bit of a Cure feeling in that movie, where you're kind of like, there's something afoot, and I don't like it.
Okay.
But yeah, Insomnia, really, really good performance. And Stellan Skarsgård is just one of the best. Good Will Hunting, we brought that up earlier. Underrated performance in a really, really good movie. Yeah, love me some Skarsgård, so I got him here at 38. He's the only Skarsgård on my list, also.
Yeah, I think he is the only one for me as well. I don't think. Yeah, I was scrolling down.
No Bill for you. No Alexander.
No. They're quite the talented family. But yeah, Stellan. Yeah, Stellan is the only one I do have.
I mean, his son was the Northman.
Yeah, I did. That movie was pretty damn badass, and I did love it. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I haven't just gotten enough of the others. Gotten a lot of but Stellan. Oof, yeah, no. Eventually, we'll get back to him later. He'll have more flowers eventually. But I believe 37. I know I say this a lot, and then it happens to not be, but he's come up in conversation at least. But I think it was one of your picks. 37 is where I have Lisan El Gaib, Timothy Chalamet, right here.
He was one of my picks in the early 60s, yes.
Yes, okay. And there's still quite a lot of blind spots for him, for me. Still haven't seen Marty Supreme. Which is crazy. Yeah, I need to see Marty Supreme. But he's already up here, kind of with just Dune alone. I don't know. Like Dune is kind of. I think I am the target audience for Dune. And
I think you're the target audience to be indoctrinated into the cult of Paul Atreides. I'm not gonna lie.
Yes, and so I'm Javier Bardem. I am like 100% just. I'm following Lisan El Gaib till the end. I know it's not going to be good, but I want to see whatever the hell's going down.
Yeah, I'm going down with the ship, baby.
Yeah. So I'm ready.
I mean, the Dune 3 trailer where he's doing that fucking chant, like I want to listen to that while I work out. Like I need that injected in my veins. It's so good.
And maybe it's like. Cause it shocks me every time of like how old he is. Like, and I always feel like Timothy, like his age. Like he's 30. Wow,
he just turned 30, right?
Yeah, 30 years old, which is wild. And it's like that's an actor who's older than me, who honestly looks younger than me in some movies most of the time. But it makes
they know how to make it that way. Yeah.
Yes, and like it's just Dune, it's just kind of I'm living through my version of Star Wars, the original someone who's going through 77, this is I think what I'm living through for my lifetime, and yeah, he's kind of at the center of it, but he's a lot of like in when he pops up in French Dispatch, like I do love him there, even like Don't Look Up. Like it's not a great movie, but like I don't know, like he plays the like honestly he's playing like a Gen Z kind of person there, like a really young kind of teen. But yeah, like the A lot of movies I have to get to for him that I haven't seen.
Lady Bird, good,
yeah.
good little,
seen,
small performance of his that he's really, really good in.
Mm-hmm.
Plays just a complete douchebag. Yeah, it's wonderful. I'm glad you brought up French Dispatch because I forgot to bring up French Dispatch whenever I mentioned him earlier.
Yeah.
And I had a chance to rewatch it in between my bringing it up and you bringing it up, and just he's so good in that. I love his playful, back and forth between his lover and Frances McDormand, and kind of like she's not in love with me, she is in love with me. I love that shit. And he's so playful, and he's a lot of fun, and I just look forward to anything he has in store. Bob Dylan, man,
Yeah. I mean,
he played Bob Dylan, and he did good at it. What do you think you're God? Yeah. I would just so good, man.
Yeah, we said whenever Zendaya popped up that like what more could you want? Like Tom Holland is just one. He's Spider-Man. He has Zendaya, but like, and then on the other side of the coin, I think I'd rather take the Tom Holland coin, but like my brother would take the Timothy Chalamet coin.
Yeah, I mean, every day
of the week. Yeah, Kylie Jenner, Dune, and just more like I feel like, or I know, I guess like Timothy is just a larger name in Hollywood than Tom Holland.
Oh, definitely.
Like he is just like as far as acting and just name recognition goes. So it's like, but yeah,
if you're plugging me into somebody else's life, it's Tom Holland in a fucking instant.
No,
if that's the comparison,
yeah, I think I'm going there for sure. And it's like not I don't know. It feels like I'm just picking women, at that point. And it's like it's like, well, Spider-Man's been. I'm more picking Spider-Man, which is kind of crazy. Like at the end of this, the decision of their two lives is like, well, they both have more money than they know what to do with. Both of their wives are insanely attractive women. And then it's like, but one of them is Spider-Man and one of them is not. And that's kind of as simple. I mean, I don't know. It makes it simple for me. But yeah, no, Timmy's doing great. I don't think he's upset with where he's at. I think, maybe, in another world, we have a Timothy Chalamet and Zendaya relationship, and
one of those parallel universes. Yeah.
Where it actually happened, and but no, that's we got what we got. Yeah. So
we were robbed in Barbie of a Timothy Chalamet, Saoirse Ronan, Barbie and Ken duo. That would have been beautiful. And I'm sure it occurred to Greta Gerwig. I know it occurred to Greta Gerwig. She'd had them both in both of her previous movies. She almost certainly wanted to do it. I'm sure there was something that prevented it. But they would have been a perfect Barbie and Ken duo. In one of the pairings, like one of the side pairings that pops up, like Dua Lipa and John Cena. Like the fuck, give me Timothy Chalamet and Saoirse Ronan. Yeah, no, I love them, and they were both in the French Dispatch as well. So, just a really, really good duo. And Timothy Chalamet, I look forward to anything with his name on it, to be honest. Yeah. And at this very moment, a little begrudgingly, just because I feel like he's in a little bit of a douchebag era right now.
Yeah, but a little bit.
But he's really good. He's really talented, and I can't blame him because he's 30 and he's married, or not married, but in a relationship with one of the most beautiful women alive, who is in a family with some of the most money on earth, and like it's I'd be full of myself too if I was Timothy Chalamet. So can't hardly blame him. But good pick. I think almost very close to being exactly 2 times. I think I had him at 64. So if I had him at 74, it'd be exactly twice the number there. But 37. I've got a goodie at 37, and given who you've already named, I severely doubt you have him on your list.
Okay.
37 is where I have Forrest Whitaker. Of course, most notably for us Star Wars fans, He's that guy. He's the shit. My God, why can't I remember his name?
Oh, the rebellion. Fucking
Saw Gerrera. Saw Gerrera.
Okay, yes, there
Jesus.
it is.
I got it. It was. I was like, I just needed to explore the mind palace for a second. I was like, it's Saw Gerrera, but I'd said Forrest Whitaker like 3 times and was like, I can't not think of him as Forrest Whitaker. I love Forrest Whitaker. Lies. Deceptions.
Yeah.
I fucking love,
lies. There, okay,
lies.
thank you.
I love Forrest Whitaker, man, and that probably wasn't my first exposure to Forrest Whitaker, but it was definitely the first time I noticed Forrest Whitaker. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was the first time I was like, oh yeah, I fucking like whoever this is. When I was 16, sitting my ass in that theater, I was like, I like this guy. And ever since then, I've grown very, very fond of Forrest Whitaker. Of course, Black Panther is another one that comes to mind. As he played, the kind of right hand. He played Zuri, the guy who elects T'Challa, essentially. The power of the Black Panther will now be stripped away. I love him in that. I actually earlier today, I watched a movie with him in it. And again, it was one of those efforts to boost someone. And I couldn't. I was just like, this is where he's at. It's a movie called Panic Room. Again, David Fincher, who we brought up a couple times so far, as he also directed Fight Club. This one has Jodie Foster, Kristen Stewart, Jared Leto, and Forrest Whitaker. And Forrest Whitaker plays like a thief with a heart of gold. They're breaking into a house, and this house has a panic room, thus it gets its name. Really, really good in it. I love him in it. But a movie that we've actually covered with him in it that I also remember really loving, Arrival.
Yes.
He plays the general who comes and fetches Amy Adams and all that good stuff. So I've watched. I tried to watch Last King of Scotland, his Oscar-winning turn. He won the Oscar for Best Actor in the movie Last King of Scotland, and I got about 45 minutes into it, and then I had to go to work. And I couldn't finish it after. So that was also today. I was like, I really want Forrest Whitaker to move up this list, and I just couldn't. I couldn't do it. But I love Forrest Whitaker, and I mean, one of the most underrated movies I've ever watched. Super laid back and just kind of. It's not even slice of life because it's still a crime movie, but it's just like you're hanging out with this guy for a couple hours. Ghost Dog. The Way of the Samurai.
Okay.
Ghost Dog. The Way of the Samurai. It's fucking awesome. Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
Okay.
Super cool movie directed by Jim Jarmusch, who is a pretty eccentric director. Fucking awesome movie. Forrest Whitaker plays the titular Ghost Dog. Super cool. Strongly recommended. Love me some Forrest Whitaker, so I've got him here at 37.
Okay. All right, moving on. These next two kind of a pair of sorts.
Would you like to present them as such?
I wonder. They're not. Maybe. I guess so.
Go for it. Go nuts.
They are two people that mainly they are here for a TV role, but they also have one movie that I've seen them in, and they both like just shook out to be like, yeah, I kind of like them the same amount, which is really weird. That they mainly for a TV role and then just kind of one movie, and then it's like this weird Star Wars connection that they share as well, but. This is where I have in order, I guess 36 Diego Luna and 35 Emilia Clarke. So the TV role Andor alone, for Diego Luna. Rogue One, I love Rogue One, but like Andor is the reason.
That's where the juice is. Yeah.
Here. Like Andor is. I love that show, and that man. I didn't realize how much I loved Cassian Andor until Andor, and then like it's just and now that's like an all-time character in already an all-time franchise that I've loved for all my life, and then to have like a shakeup that big is crazy. And then Amelia Daenerys is where she's getting all of her,
Of course,
why she is here. But then Kira, yeah, I guess we have a little Star Wars connection there. So there's a movie there, and I guess I've seen her technically in Secret Invasion. I forgot about that.
Gia.
So
of
she
course,
is in the
that's
MCU.
actually where. Your love for her
scratch
comes
that.
from.
She's actually number 1 because she's
Because
Gia.
of Gia.
Yeah, I forgot. So I'll need to make some alterations. But no, yeah, these two kind of really it is their TV role, and they are, oh my god, I don't know, kind of characters that took over my life for a little bit. Daenerys was kind of Jon Snow, and Daenerys is all I cared about for quite a long time in my life. Still, at some points when you go through the Thrones phase, I don't know, it is like that.
Yeah.
And I have like behind my computer, I guess on my wall, I have the Stark, Lannister, and Targaryen banners.
The banners
hung up on my wall, and people walking by my window can see them. Like you kind of look up into my room, you can't really see kind of the floor or the flat, I don't know, kind of in, but very clear. It's, I don't know, very clear what you see if you look up into my room. And someone was just walking by and hit the some quote. I forget that they said some Thrones quote as they walked by, and it just kind of felt good. What a community. I don't know, that show kind of has. It feels like, yeah, it's crazy. And we've dissected it as much as really anyone can or should. And
should is the better word.
Yeah. And then but still it's like, well, I'm gonna rewatch it at some point. Like it's gonna have to happen eventually again. So
I mean, we're almost re-entering Thrones mode right now with House of the Dragon season 3 around the corner. That's true. It might be time.
Yeah, I know I'm gonna rewatch. I guess I need to rewatch season 1 and 2 of House of the Dragon. I'll do that. But then probably after the new season, I'll be like, well, it is summertime, and well,
let's do it.
Is it time? Oh shit, I don't know, but yeah, kind of a king and queen kind of here, a weird Jon Snow insert, I feel like, but kind of tracks with Cassian Andor. I feel like Jon and Cassian, I don't know, I want them on my team. And Daenerys, until the very end. Just we can forget.
Breaker of chains, mother of dragons. Yeah, let's fucking go.
Come on.
It's Jon Snow. He's the king in the north. I love that.
Mm-hmm. So I guess twofer. I don't know if you have to force you into.
I actually do have a twofer. I actually have a crazy, and like it aligns on several counts because mine are also a Star Wars connection.
Okay, that's nice.
Which makes 4 in a row that I can do a Star Wars connection for, as I had Stellan Skarsgård and Forrest Whitaker, who both appeared in Andor.
Okay.
And Rogue One. You had Diego Luna, who appeared in, of course, Andor and Rogue One. Now, these two did not appear in Andor or Rogue One, but they are both in Star Wars. At 36, I have Adam Driver.
Oh, okay.
Love me some Adam Driver. Can't get enough of him. Kylo Ren, of course, is definitely the earliest exposure I had to Adam Driver, and still probably to this day the most meaningful exposure I've had to Adam Driver. But I watched Marriage Story when it came out back in 2019, and I was definitely not the movie watcher I am now. I desperately need to rewatch that. I love Noah Baumbach a lot more. I love Adam Driver a lot more. I love Scarlett Johansson a lot more. I love Laura Dern a lot more. I'm sure that movie would go over a lot better for me now than it did then. Frances Ha, great Noah Baumbach movie, again led by Greta Gerwig, but Adam Driver plays a fun supporting role. Megalopolis, dude.
Yeah.
What a fucking weird role he got to play there. That was quite the movie. The Last Duel, another good Adam Driver role. Silence, a great Adam Driver role. White Noise, another Noah Baumbach one. Ferrari. I've just watched so much Adam Driver stuff that it was impossible to not have him high. I love that actor. And I love him in Star Wars most specifically. Like, a lot of people had a lot to say about the sequel trilogy, and I have no I have nowhere near the amount of animosity towards that trilogy as a lot of people do. But very rarely do any of their complaints get directed towards Adam Driver.
True. Yeah.
And the other one, who I have at 35 again, Star Wars, is Ewan McGregor.
Okay. Yeah.
I love me some Obi-Wan Kenobi, and of course the prequels and the series Obi-Wan Kenobi. But Train Spotting, an incredible Ewan McGregor turn. He's played one of my favorite and most out there portrayals of a DC villain in Birds of Prey, where he played Black Mask. He was the bad guy in Birds of Prey: The Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn. He was Jiminy Cricket in Pinocchio, Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio.
Okay.
Or Cricket, I suppose. Dr. Sleep, where he plays the grown version of Danny from The Shining. Good ass movie. Christopher Robin. He plays Christopher Robin. I saw that movie in theaters with my little brother and my girlfriend at the time, and I remember I was like a puddle because I loved Winnie the Pooh growing up, and this really, really hit me, and nobody else got it the way that I did, and I felt like a fucking loser, but I loved it, and I love Ewan McGregor in it. But probably one of my favorite Ewan McGregor turns, I'll throw a couple underrated ones out there. I Love You, Philip Morris, which is a queer comedy with him and Jim Carrey. Super good, very funny. Strongly recommend it. And then a drama from the late 90s directed by Todd Haynes, Velvet Goldmine, which is him and Christian Bale and Toni Collette. And he plays a glam rock star. He's fucking awesome in it. Absolutely adore it. So Ewan McGregor, just don't have enough positive things to say about him. But I don't believe you've said him, right?
I have not. No, I have not yet. But
okay.
Definitely.
So I'll save the Obi-Wan Kenobi juice for later. So we will get there. But yeah, I love me some Ewan McGregor. So I've got Kylo Ren, Adam Driver at 36, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Ewan McGregor at 35.
There we go. Cassian Andor at 36, Kira at 35. Keeping the Star
Luthen
Wars
at 38, Forrest Whitaker at
Oh,
37, Saw Gerrera at 37. Yeah. Timothy broke it up. Yeah.
Damn, that's okay. But we'll keep it going for 34, actually. Mando will enter the scene. Pedro Pascal will join the club. So I guess we can keep the Star Wars chat going. And yeah, kind of, Mando, I get Oberyn Martell, is really, that, like, come on now. When we're talking about Thrones, that's the golden era of Thrones. That is one of the most goated characters in the entire show. So I mean, that kind of crazy there. His TV roles are pretty big, but I'm in a weird spot with Pedro right now. I can't lie. Like at one point, I bet if you asked me to make this list a year ago, he's like top 20 for sure, or like he might even be like close to top 10. I loved Pedro. I loved everything about that man. I think I did love him. I don't know.
No, I still do. I love Pedro Pascal. Mm-hmm. I don't have Pedro Pascal, which is astonishing. If you know anything about me, and you've listened to the show at all, I don't really have a good reason for that either. I hate, and I don't use that word loosely. Mm-hmm. There are a lot of people online who complain about a couple of the people who you've listed this episode, and complain about that they're in every movie, that they're in everything. And those are Timothy Chalamet and Pedro Pascal. They are in everything. Why does every movie have to have Timothy Chalamet or Pedro Pascal? And I hate seeing that critique. I cannot stand it because you need to watch more movies. Ultimately, that's what that means. You need to watch more movies. Yeah. But I do think there is such a thing as overexposure, I think distance makes the heart grow fonder, and missing an actor ultimately makes me love them more. And I cannot blame him. I'd cash every fucking check I could too. If you would have told Pedro Pascal 10 years ago that there will come a point in your career where you are probably the highest grossing actor alive, I don't think he'd fucking believe you. You know what I'm saying? Like, this man is he's doing one of the most recent MCU movies and is in the next MCU movie. He is in the first Star Wars movie in 7 years after being in the first Star Wars series and headlining the first Star Wars series ever, live action.
Yep.
I mean, he was just in Eddington. He was in The Materialists. He was just everywhere last summer. And therein, I think that overexposure, I mean, that is a thing. There is such a thing as me being like, okay, well, I love Pedro Pascal, but I want to miss him a little bit. And I think that's ultimately why I don't have him. But I will not lie. I regret that deeply because I love Pedro Pascal. I really, really do.
It's like that one song that you loved so much, and then it was just on the radio every single time you got in the car. Like, you just heard it everywhere. And then it's like, well, man, I remember.
And it's not the song's fault. It's not the song's fault at all. It's not Pedro Pascal's fault. I mean, and again, I'm not growing tired of Pedro Pascal. I am still going to see Mandalorian and Grogu opening weekend tonight, actually, as of the release of this episode.
Yeah. This is true.
Me and you are going together. That's very exciting. I can't wait. But I did go see Fantastic Four in theater, and I did go see The Materialists in theater, and you know, like I was tuned in week by week for The Mandalorian, and you know, The Last of Us is the only thing that I season 2 I did not keep up with. But goddamn, is he good? He's good in season 1. You know, I haven't watched season 2, so I won't speak to it. But fuck, good choice.
Still good in season 2. Oh yeah, it's not his fault. He's doing great. Everything he's in, it's good. It's just man, it's like, all right. Pay Pedro Pascal, you know, he will bring the people. It's, you know, he is just that guy, I think, right now.
Well, I mean, he is gorgeous. I do like, he's such an interesting, and to take this to I'm not objectifying him because I think he's beautiful. And I don't mean this in a way that's like, it almost sounds like a backhanded compliment. He's beautiful in a way that seems attainable. And I think that makes people love him. You know what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't seem surreally beautiful. You know, like it's not beyond our comprehension how beautiful Pedro Pascal is. He's a really, really good looking, normal looking guy. It's not a little bit of an everyman thing, which is hilarious because he does not play everyman. You know, like he plays badasses, and he plays like The Materialists. He's the rich guy who you literally cannot be. He's called a unicorn in that movie because he's so unreal. Like, he's perfect. And so, like, he is such a fascinating actor where I've never had a complaint about a Pedro Pascal performance. I think, and what's funny is, as much as I love Star Wars and as much as I love The Mandalorian, it might be what kept him off the list.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like, simply because I think that show has gone on too long. I don't really love the fact that it's the first movie that the Star Wars franchise is putting out after 7 years. And again, it kind of similar to the Brad Pitt thing, where it's stuff beyond his fault. It's just stuff that is holding me back from committing to him as a top 100 contender here.
Yeah.
But
I had, you know, and I did have this like internal battle of like, man, I used to love him so much more, and now I just don't. But he's still, I don't know. Yeah, I feel like I would be. To not put him in the top 100 didn't feel. It felt like I had to.
Felt dishonest to leave him out, which is exactly where I'm at.
Yeah, because I don't really know why. It's like, is it just the overexposure? Is that it? I don't. And like it is. Yeah, it's not on him, so it felt.
But you brought up Oberyn Martell.
Yeah.
Ooh-wee.
Yeah.
That is all time, dude. That is one of my favorite Thrones characters ever. And I loved Pedro Pascal on that. So again, I'm so happy he became a movie star. There are very few actors who feel so. He's also very just outspoken and genuine and supportive. Again, kind of in that vein of Javier Bardem and Liam Cunningham, who you brought up a while back. Like, he is a champion of the oppressed. He is not silent when it comes to matters of importance. Like, he speaks up, which is there's a debate about how impactful that is. I think it's very impactful, especially whenever you are Pedro Pascal, when you are one of the leads in Marvel movies and you're the lead in a Star Wars movie and you are influential beyond anything he probably ever comprehended he would be. So yeah, I love me some Pedro Pascal. So love that pick there, and I deeply regret not having him on my top 100, but I don't have him in my top 100.
Yeah.
I love it. All right, so that's 34, right?
Yes, 34.
All right. So I'm gonna briefly break the Star Wars connection. I do have another Star Wars player at 33, but which again, hilarious that half of this episode features Star Wars players, and I just didn't even realize it. But 34 is where I have Ethan Hawke, who you did bring up earlier.
Yes.
I love Ethan Hawke, and something we talked about a while ago when you brought him up was just generally. The way that he talks about acting and art in general is one of the things that endears me to him most. Like, he just loves what he does. And he's an artist, and he believes in the craft and believes in all crafts. Like, he is an actor and an artist, and I love that about him. You mentioned that the Before trilogy was absent for you, and you thought he would shoot up the list if you'd had it. And that's why I have him about 30 spots higher, is because I've seen that trilogy. Before Sunset, or Before Sunrise, Sunset, and Midnight are three of the best Ethan Hawke performances there are, because they're movies that almost entirely rely on his and Julia Delpy's performances. They're walk and talk films. They're just two characters and their chemistry, and that's all you have for the entire runtime, and that's so difficult to carry as an actor, and he is, and so does she. They both do it effortlessly. It's really impeccable. We brought up The Northman a little bit ago. He has a small role in that, but an impactful role in that. I loved that. Training Day. I didn't love Training Day, but I think I'd appreciate Training Day more now than I did then. His most recent Oscar nomination with Blue Moon was an incredible performance, just because you know how suave and charismatic that Ethan Hawke is, and him playing this sexless weeb is hilarious, but very, very good and effective. To connect him to Pedro Pascal here, the short film by Pedro Almodovar a couple years ago, Strange Way of Life, where they played the gay cowboys. Me and Emily went and saw that in theaters with one of her friends, Davi, and it was awesome. It played in a double feature of short films with another Pedro Almodovar short film called it was a Tilda Swinton one. So sorry, now I gotta find out what the short film was called. Tilda Swinton was in a short film called The Human Voice.
The Human Voice.
Okay, The Human Voice. That's it. Okay, I thought that's what it was, but that didn't seem right. It played in a double feature with that. It was fucking awesome. It was a great time at the movies. And Ethan Hawke and Pedro Pascal were a big part of that. So three, Tilda Swinton, Pedro Pascal, Ethan Hawke, all on both of our lists, save for Pedro Pascal on mine. Just incredible performers, and Ethan Hawke is, he's awesome. He really is, and he and Uma Thurman created Maya Hawke, who I love also. Not here, but Uma Thurman is also here. But I love me some Ethan Hawke. Dead Poets Society, or one of the earliest things I remember him in. The microscopic role he has in Glass Onion, where he sprays the breathalyzer, neutralizing the virus thing. It's just a funny little role to see him like, is that Ethan Hawke? Yeah, I think that's fucking Ethan Hawke. And that's all he does, and he's gone. Very funny. But yeah, love me some Ethan Hawke. 34. Can't get enough of him, to be honest.
All right. 33. I believe we've already had him. I think. And man, I guess this seems to be a TV role kind of run that I'm going on, and I think the power ranking does track Cassian Andor, Daenerys Targaryen, Mando, Joel, and then more movies, I guess, for Pedro. But then this guy started with the TV show, but man, I'm so glad every movie he's in. I love him so much. Honestly, having him this low, this one feels bad to have it 33. But this is where I have Jeffrey Wright, our new Gordon. I love him in Batman. Open your eyes, and just the Gordon and Batman kind of play that's already going on.
Hilarious. Yeah, I fucking love it. Yeah.
They're too good, and so I can't wait to see them continue that on. But then like French Dispatch, American Fiction, whenever he's got a lot more movies kind of under his belt, I feel like, and then he has this gravitas to him. His voice, it just carries substance. I don't know. It demands your attention, no matter what you're doing. And like what if? Yeah, like who better to freaking narrate and be the watcher? I don't know. Like that is just it's perfect. Like a perfect role for him. So, but I love this guy. Bernard in Westworld is an all-timer. That is the rewatch that would happen before Thrones, I would say. If the Thrones kick of House of the Dragon doesn't do it and get me to go back, then I'd say the Westworld watch is more on the docket.
The Westworld watch.
Yeah.
We might do a podcast with a Westworld.
It's just gotta
watch,
happen. I know.
There's been nothing that has satisfied me as an idea otherwise to follow up Twin Peaks as a show, episode by episode, coverage wise. I would love to do that with Westworld. We've already covered season 4 episode by episode when it was on. That's how on Westworld we were. As soon as we could, we did.
Yeah. But then we were robbed, and we will never. Maybe one day.
Fuck.
Who knows? Maybe Nolan. He's cooking. He's waiting on a movie to drop. Actually, Jonathan's gonna drop the script to Christopher.
I would love that.
And then bada bing, bada boom. We
Mr.
get
Worldwide as I step in the room. I'm a hustler, baby. Sorry.
We can drink though. We can drink.
We can
for season 5 or a culmination.
I wanted to do something when you brought up Jeffrey Wright because I knew you would. His Asteroid City monologue is
Chapter 1.
One of the best things in movies ever for me. So I wanted to recite it because I have it in front of me now. And I love just his cadence. I remember I watched this movie in theaters, I think 3 times. I think it was 3 times. And one of the times, I never do this in movies, but I held my phone against my chest and I recorded the monologue because I was like, I fucking love this scene. And just the way his cadence is impeccable. Chapter 1. I walked to school 18 miles each morning, milked the goats, plucked the chickens, played hooky, caught fireflies, went skitty dipping in the watering hole, said my prayers every night, and got whipped by a maple switch twice a week. That was life. That was life. That was another one that I always
That was life.
That was life. Yes. Chapter 2. My father went off to fight in the war to end all wars. It didn't. And what was left of him came back in a pine box with a flag on top. End of chapter 2. Next, I went to officer school, and 20 years passed at the speed of a dream. A wife, a son, a daughter, a poodle. Chapter 3. Another war. Arms and legs blown off like popcorn, eyeballs gouged out figuratively and literally. The men put on shows under the palm fronds, dressed as women in hula skirts. That was life. In the meantime, somebody else's story. A man thinks up a number, divides it by 1,000,000,000,000, plugs it into the square root of the circumference of the earth multiplied by the speed of a splitting atom, and voila, progress. I'm not a scientist. You are. End of chapter 3. Junior stargazers and space cadets, we watch transfixed as you enter into uncharted territories of the brains and spirits. If you wanted to live a nice, quiet, peaceful life, you picked the wrong time to get born. God damn, dude. Like, I'm reading it and I can't do it. You know, like, I'm reading it off a fucking page and I can't do it. Like, just obscene talent. I love that monologue. Again, part of that's writing, but a lot of it is delivery. That would not carry the same weight delivered a different way. I love Jeffrey Wright. In the Phoenician Scheme, when he calls Benicio del Toro my boy repeatedly, my boy, it fucking kills me. I love that shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's just he I don't know this for sure, but like he just seems like a sweet person in real life. I don't get like many red flags for him, and you know, he is an actor, so you know these people are pretty good at putting on a character. But no, I don't know why. It just feels like he's a genuine person as well behind
Seems
the
like
scenes.
it, yeah.
Yeah, I have nothing to back that up with. I've only seen like a couple of interviews with him, but I feel like if you're in the West lexicon, that's a good moral that's a good
Mostly, yeah,
test.
yeah.
You know, you've passed something. If you're in that lexicon.
I know for a fact that on some level you value the art of what you're doing. Yeah. And that inherently makes me admire you more. Mm-hmm. You know, yeah. And I respect that. So I love that pick at 33. 33 and 44, by the way. I had him at 44, you had him at 33. So
let's go.
Another one of those double number ones. Uh-huh. I believe that the only other ones were Michael B. Jordan and David Bowie so far. But
yeah, okay.
All right. My 33, to get back to the Star Wars shit, this is where I have Mace Windu, Samuel L. Jackson. Yeah. Samuel L. Jackson, I did do some fun facts about my list, like a stats sheet. Okay. And I have my most watched actors, my least watched actors, and so on and so forth. Okay. This is not far and away, but definitely my most watched actor. I've seen Samuel L. Jackson in 34 movies.
Jeez.
34 movies. If you go to his Letterboxd and you look at all films as an actor, you click on that, and there will be 20 films that pop up. You have seen all 20. Wow. You know, like I've seen all 20. You've seen all 20. The only one that's crazy. Wow. It's a lot of movies that you've seen with Samuel L. Jackson. So just, it was impossible to not have him because I've also never not liked him. Mm-hmm. You know, I've always enjoyed Samuel L. Jackson, and really awesome performer. Pulp Fiction is obviously a career turn that he made the most of, and became a whole different tier of actor after Pulp Fiction. But I go to, Nick Fury is no small role. I really enjoy Nick Fury. I think he does a great job, and he's got to do a different version of Nick Fury. Like, he gets to play him in different tones, which I think is a lot of fun. The Winter Soldier is one that I'll always go to for Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury. But genuinely, what might be my favorite stuff with him as Nick Fury is Captain Marvel and the Marvels. Yeah, I fucking love him in those. He's so fun in those, and he's having just a great time, and he's performing his ass off, man. Inglourious Bastards, small role in that, but good. Django Unchained, of course, playing the Uncle Tom there. Jurassic Park, puny role. Goodfellas, puny role. But he is in them, and he pops up briefly. And of course, Mace Windu is definitely my earliest exposure to Samuel L. Jackson. And I love that he makes movies that I will always want to watch. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've always wanted to watch them ever since I was a little kid. And now as I grow up, and I am an adult, and as I continue to grow, I will want to watch his more mature work, and he will still continue to do stuff for kids, and my kids and your kids. And like, I just think it's a really cool career he's had. So love me some Sam Jack, and I've got him at 33.
Yeah. He is my most watched, at least on Letterboxd. He is the only one to break 20 films. He's No one to break
Who's
that
second
barrier
on
for
that
me.
list?
John Ratzenberger? Who?
Yeah, John Ratzenberger. Yeah, Pixar regular.
Oh, okay. Okay, so that
He was also in Empire Strikes Back. He was in Superman and Superman 2.
Okay.
He was just a small guy in a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, he's really high up on mine too. How high is Willem Dafoe?
Yeah, he's next. He's at 8.
Willem Dafoe is second on mine.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm like, those are the three. It's like Sam Jackson, Willem Dafoe, John Ratzenberger. Like, if you watch these types of movies, they're at the top of your fucking list.
Yeah, because everyone like they have, I don't know, they're high. Like Samuel L. is 22, and then they're high in the teens. But then everyone else is like 12, 12, 12, 11, 11, 11, 11, 11, 11. Yeah, like, and then a bunch of 10s are like in a row. So like they're the only ones that
I'm
are
pretty
like
sure I've got
well above. But oh wow, yeah.
Let's see. Now I'm curious about mine. Because Sam Jackson is at 34, which I'm pretty sure is my most watched actor of all time. Yeah.
How did I not
Sam Jackson,
use this
34
as a resource while making my list? Wow.
Right.
Wow. The Letterboxd
Willem Dafoe,
stat page.
33. So one less. Sam Jackson, 34. Willem Dafoe, 33. J.K. Simmons, 26.
Huh. Wow. Holy crap. Okay.
A lot of J.K. Simmons. Tom Cruise, 25.
Yeah.
Adam Sandler, 25. That makes sense too.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, John Ratzenberger is tied at 23 with Keanu Reeves, The Rock, and Chris Evans. So just a crazy, crazy slate of actors for the ones you've seen in the most stuff.
Wow.
But yeah, so Sam Jackson, I've got him at 33, even though I've seen him in 34 movies.
Ooh, there we go. Okay. Well, kind of I'd say two icons in the game. I think she's already come up in the list, or at least in conversation. But 32 is where I have Sigourney Weaver. The
I have not mentioned Sigourney.
Oh,
yet,
okay, so
yes,
just in conversation. But
I mean, how does she not come up though?
Yeah.
To be honest, I mean,
Come
that's
on.
a goddess.
if you were dog sitting, the dogs would be barking.
Exactly, the dogs would be barking right now.
It's okay. We know. It's we can just fill in for them. But yeah, just kind of the Alien franchise. I don't know. It kind of whenever we covered that was all really first viewings for me, and the originals were just, oh my god, like they were so good. I had a different loving for the later ones, Prometheus and Covenant, more for the story, but Sigourney and just that's just a perfect role for her. I don't know, like that's an all-time.
Ellen Ripley is essential.
Role.
Yeah.
That is, cinema. You must. That is required viewing. Alien. I'd say Alien.
Oh my god.
Aliens, you should. But Alien, you need the first one. I'm
gonna watch it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch it tonight. You've convinced me.
It's happening.
It's over. It's already done. Yeah. Dude.
Yeah.
Alien. It's so difficult to like. Just be like, yeah, that's a top 5 movie of all time. Alien, I have no hesitation. That's a top 5 favorite movie of all time for me. And Sigourney Weaver is a massive reason why.
Yep.
Like, I fucking love her. So no, I have not brought her up yet, but
okay,
I will.
Yeah.
She is on my list.
I just saw she is the ship's computer voice
in Wall-E.
That's so. Baller. That is, oh my god, I love Wall-E. That's my favorite Pixar movie, and now knowing that, maybe Sigourney, 32
maybe you've sold her short. Yeah,
that is great. No, but she's,
I mean, Holes, she was she ran the camp.
True. Yeah,
that's a childhood classic.
Oh yeah,
that is a childhood classic. Of course, Avatar. She
yeah.
was actually in the first one, and now she's been animated and voicing.
Yes.
Kiri, I believe, is the character's name.
Yeah. That's
Kiri.
But yeah, legend of the game. I think that this is.
God, I fucking love Sigourney, and we're gonna see her tonight.
True.
In Mandalorian and Grogu, as she seems to be a very prominent part of that movie. So I'm very excited for that. We get to see a new Sigourney Weaver feature tonight.
There we go. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I love that. I love that for us. Because I love Sigourney Weaver. dude. Get away from her, you bitch.
Yeah.
She is so fucking good. I had the pleasure of seeing Alien for the first time in a movie theater.
Oh,
which was
god damn
absurd.
Damn.
You know, like I'd seen Aliens even, because we covered Aliens without ever watching Alien during the 52-year journey through film. Back on Geek With Me. Yeah. It was our 1986 movie. We were just like, fuck it, let's watch Aliens. And we were like, I didn't realize it's a sequel, you know, like that's how little we knew at that point. But I was in that movie theater with like 5 people, and they were all 60 plus. They'd all obviously watched the movie the first time, you know, like the first time around, and they were just like, fuck yeah, let's go see this thing again. And I was obviously changed. Like, I was rejuvenated at the end of that movie. I was like, that's all time right there. I fucking love Alien. And yeah, Sigourney Weaver has always, in my mind, been, ever since then, really just been a goddess. So, love that pick at 32. Yeah. I'm going with a classic here at 32. I love the guy, and I know you love the guy, and you haven't mentioned him yet, which is again quite encouraging, because I'm fairly certain you'll have him. 32 is where I have Lawrence Fishburne.
What the fuck? I mean, he's not my 32, but he is my 31. That's crazy.
Oh shit! So, yeah. Shit! Yeah, I love when that happens.
There we go.
Yeah, dude, Lawrence Fishburne is awesome. Of course, Morpheus.
Yeah.
Of course, The Matrix. That's.
You think that's
just his monologues to Neo? You think that's air you're breathing? Yeah, I fucking love him in that. But the role that made me go, oh my god, he's fucking brilliant, is Boys in the Hood. Furious Styles is one of the best. Like, his monologue when he's on the street corner and he's explaining everything. He's illuminating and he's lecturing to the people. It's fucking awesome. Of course, John Wick.
Yeah.
The Bowery King.
Yes.
Fucking love those scenes. Somebody please get this man a gun. He's so fucking good. Apocalypse Now, you got the baby Lawrence Fishburne in that, and he's popped up in a lot of Francis Ford Coppola stuff. Of course, he was the narrator in Megalopolis. I believe he was a small role in Rumblefish as well, underrated movie. Man of Steel, he's been Perry White, you know, like he's been around the block. He's been in the MCU, he's been in the Matrix. He was a general in the Fantastic Four movie and the Silver Surfer, if you'll recall. Yeah. He actually, no, he wasn't. He was the voice of the Silver Surfer. My bad. Mission Impossible 3. He was the guy who you think is the bad guy, and then he's not the bad guy. You know, you love those things. So yeah, I've never gotten enough of Lawrence Fishburne. I still haven't seen enough Lawrence Fishburne. I've seen mostly his blockbuster stuff. You know, Boys in the Hood is really the only thing I've seen of his that I would not call. I mean, Megalopolis, probably not technically a blockbuster. Predators, yeah, I forgot about that one. It's a really shitty Predator movie, but it's a lot of fun.
I don't think I've seen that one. I think I saw a later one.
Yeah, that one's led by Adrian Brody.
Oh wow,
it's got Topher Grace, Walton Goggins, Lawrence Fishburne, Danny Trejo, Mahershala Ali. Crazy cast. Wow. Not nearly good enough.
Okay.
Yeah. He's been in some shit, man. So I love some Lawrence Fishburne. Haven't seen nearly enough of the dramatic work that I need to, and I can only imagine him going up on this list, which is kind of insane considering he's at 32, just on the back of Morpheus and Perry White and the Bowery King and like just all those big name franchise roles. But yeah, I love him. I gotta have him. So I have him at 32, and you have him at 31.
Yeah, and love the Boys in the Hood. I don't think he actually stands on a soapbox, you know, but kind of a soapbox moment in the movie. You know, kind of Fantastic Mr. Fox. We have a literal soapbox there, I think. Kind of at the end. I love maybe. I need to. That's a good list to get going. Literal soapbox moments that, I would never tire of hearing. I would, if that was on my street corner, a Furious Styles soapbox speaking, I'm walking up.
I'm there.
Yeah. Like
I gotta hear
my
what this
attention
guy
is
has to
had.
say.
So, but yeah, that's I like the not quite lineup, but almost.
Right there. That is the closest we've come, if I'm not mistaken, is the one spot apart. Did we do that earlier? I don't think we did. I think we got close. You had to skip a couple for Jake Gyllenhaal, maybe?
No,
was that when it?
I don't think I have him.
Okay.
I don't have him.
Well, earlier it happened, and you had to skip up a couple. Like you went up the list too.
Yeah, we haven't hit the exact number yet.
No, we've definitely not done that.
Oh man, that's gonna bug me now.
I know. I'm like, that definitely happened. Paul Dano.
Paul Dano is at. Oh, Paul Mescal, different Paul. 66, Paul Dano.
Yep, I had him at 67 or 68. I had him at 68. So that was the one. I was like, it was Paul Dano. Another guy in Prisoners. That was the connection there, by the way.
Okay.
But all right, so 32 and 31. That's probably as close as we'll come. Yes. I cannot imagine we end up actually overlapping at any point during this, especially considering some of the names you've already dropped. I'm like, I've got a few of them high. But my 31, and this might be, this spot might say the most about how much I love an actor in the entire list. It might say even more than my number one spot, which is hilarious. Okay. Simply because this is an actress who I have watched and I've loved for about, I would say, 12 years, probably. 12 or 13 years. Know her mostly from television. I don't have a lot of those left. I think this is one of two that I have left for mostly TV roles, or mostly here because of TV roles. Literally the lead in one movie. One big, decently big movie. She's been in a few things. But to ascend above some of the names I have, I've got to fucking love you on the back of those few roles that I've seen you in, 31's where I have Kristen Milioti. I fucking love Kristen Milioti. And, of course, we covered Penguin week by week. Episode by episode whenever it was airing. That's available now on Geek With Me. And I did not hide how much I loved Kristen Milioti. I made it very obvious how much I enjoyed Kristen Milioti. But to ascend above Lawrence Fishburne and Sam Jackson and Ethan Hawke and Ewan McGregor and Adam Driver and Stellan Skarsgård and Forrest Whitaker and, Nicole Kidman and Tom Cruise, like, I love you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's somebody I fucking love. And it started with How I Met Your Mother, where, spoilers, she's the mother.
Whoa.
I love her, and she's only in the last season, and fuck is she good in it. But then I think thereafter I saw her in The Wolf of Wall Street, where she has a tiny role as Teresa Petrillo. But she has one powerhouse scene where she kicks Jordan out, and then he was like, I was heartbroken. I filed for divorce and moved in with Naomi 2 days later. He moves on really fast. But I loved her in that scene. How could you do this to me, Jordan? She's got the real thick accent. Come on, Jordan. How could you do this to me, Jordan? Yeah. Of course, it's been the 20s that she's really come into her own as a name. She just won an Emmy for The Penguin, holy shit. To be acting across from Colin Farrell and be probably the best part of the show as Sophia Falcone is insane. But back in 2020, she's in one of my favorite rom-coms ever called Palm Springs with Andy Samberg. And J.K. Simmons also in that, by the way. Dude, I love Kristen Milioti. I think she's so endearing. I think she is beautiful in the extreme. I think she's unbelievably talented, a really brilliant actress, and I really hope that the work she did as Sophia Falcone and the Penguin has a rippling effect on her career that makes her an even bigger deal. You know, here's hoping that the shit that we're talking about Pedro Pascal, where it's like, hey, 10 years ago, you tell Pedro Pascal you're going to be one of the biggest names in Hollywood. Mm-hmm. I would love if that happened to Kristen Milioti. Like, I would love if I got overexposed to her to the point where I was like, you're gone, get off the top 100. But I love her too much, and I had to have her, so I got her here at 31.
I think, unlike Pedro, I don't think there can be an overexposure of Kristen Milioti. I think that's just...
No, there can't be. I've loved her for too long. Loved her for too long. It's over a decade now that I've really, really loved Kristen Milioti. I don't think it's probably been 7 years that I've loved Pedro Pascal that way. Maybe 5 or 6 even. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I love me some Kristen Milioti. So I got her at 31, man.
Okay. All right. Well, the last one.
Top it off.
Yeah,
top it
30.
Off.
Before we get into the 20s, he was already said, and I believe, I think this wasn't conversation. This was a pick. Robin Williams is my 30. We had a Ewan McGregor mention. Robots. We'll connect the two there.
There you go.
Rodney Copperbottom and
Ethan Hawke.
Yeah.
Dead Poets Society.
Boom.
There you go.
Okay, yeah, there it is. Okay, yeah, we did mention that. So yeah, but yeah, Robin Williams, RV. Did you ever see RV growing up?
Oh, fuck yeah.
I don't know why. That was like my brother and me. We loved that movie. It was a disc that one disc that we watched so much that it was scratched beyond watchability.
RV.
We had to get rid of it. So I don't know why we took quite the liking to RV, but
I mean it's a funny fucking movie. You can't go wrong there.
I don't know. It was just kind of peak comedy for the time being. Yeah, 2005. Okay, yeah, that's or 2006. So yeah, this tracks. Everyone's hero was he?
Yeah.
Napoleon Cross. What's Napoleon Cross? Napoleon Cross. What is
I mean, he's not even listed top 12 on the cast list. So, I loved Everyone's Hero as a kid, though. I did.
Yeah, that's a goated movie. Yeah, I'm like, it's just nice that he had some hand in it. I guess that's just nice to know. But yeah, just every role he's in, it feels sweet. Like I feel like I brought up like, has he ever been the bad guy in anything? Has he ever been just truly evil? I guess I haven't seen him.
I haven't seen
anything
either.
Truly evil, but yeah, someone who I don't know from Robots. That's an all timer movie right there. Flubber. I remember like that was like
Flubber.
Still to this day, like I love a good slime or a good stress ball thing that can squeeze and or something.
Yeah.
And I think I don't know what Flubber had this weird thing click in the brain. I don't know, something clicked in my brain whenever I watched Flubber. That was just it was a very weird. But yeah, kind of some very early memories with Robin Williams. And then yeah, Dead Poets when it gets I don't know, yeah, that was a movie to get through. But yeah, I loved him, like kind of like God, like knowing kind of like if you watch that when it comes out, I don't know if it hits like as hard as like
as it might now.
Yeah, and like so it just had a whole different kind of feeling to it that I feel that like when it first came out, you just had I don't know.
Oh, dude, I will never forget. I showed that movie to Emily. Because I believe, to bring it back to the 52-year journey through film again, I believe that was our 1989 movie. I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it was in there.
And I remember when we were watching it for that, she was like, I had to watch this at school once, and I was like, oh, no kidding. Like, that's a weird movie to have watched at school, like, and then spoilers for Dead Poets Society. The kid kills himself, and she was like, they skipped over this. I was like, then why the fuck did you watch the movie at school? That's the point of the movie. Like, it blew my mind that was something that they'd done and that they'd skipped over. And I mean, I get it. Like, that's heavy for school, but like, I think she was like, I just thought he left. I thought he left the school. I thought he got pulled out, by his dad because he was an actor,
No.
I was like, oh no, yeah, sorry. She's like sobbing. I'm like, and I am too. It's a fucking brutal movie. But yeah, dude, I love that movie. And Robin Williams, the way he, expounds about poetry in that movie, the way he, it drips off the tongue like honey, like I love his passion. I love Robin Williams, and he did come up because he was on the list. He was, this might be a new high as far as the gaps, presented. I had him at 94.
Dang,
I believe.
64. Okay. Dang. Wow. That's, or 54. No, I was.
No, 64 was
correct.
right.
I'm like, no, trust me.
Yeah, 64 is right. Yeah, 94 is when I had him originally. So, yeah, you have not brought up anybody else in my 90s this episode. Yeah. So I do believe that is a new wide, if you will.
There we go. Yeah, I
love it. I love it.
Yeah,
all right,
so 90s has been mentioned either.
Robin Williams at 30. Good way. I mean, in the top 30, like, damn, dude, this is peak. This is the shit, man. So to conclude the episode, I'm gonna go with, just one of my favorite actresses ever. Absolutely adore her. This is where I have Winona Ryder.
Okay.
Who obviously most recently caught new life because of Stranger Things. Kind of revitalized a career that was far from dead, don't get me wrong, but definitely launched her back into stardom, and she's still a household name because of Stranger Things. But taking it back to Heathers, that's one of my favorite Winona Ryders. Almost said Benicio del Toro for some reason. I connected, but Beetlejuice. I almost said Beneatlejuice. So fucking funny. Beetlejuice. Don't say it a third time, I love that movie, and she is so endearing in it with Catherine O'Hara and Michael Keaton, and and the second one, I almost said it a third time. I'm not gonna let myself do it. Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis, and just really, really good stuff. She gets to play Jenna Ortega's mom in the sequel. A lot of fun. I didn't love the sequel, but it was fun. It was a good time. Edward Scissorhands. Oh, she is so... I love her in Edward Scissorhands. Like, there are a few actresses who you watch and, characters fall in love with them. And you go, yep. Yeah, it's the only way that interaction possibly could have gone, and Winona Ryder is one of those actresses. When it comes to Edward Scissorhands, Dracula, she's massive in that. That's probably my favorite of hers. Age of Innocence is a big one. Daniel Day-Lewis, Michelle Pfeiffer, Martin Scorsese. I just watched a movie with Emily called Autumn in New York. It's directed by Joan Chen, actually, who I brought up as one of my names left off, who was Jocelyn Packard in Twin Peaks. The Asian lady in Twin Peaks. But Autumn in New York, Richard Gere falls in love with Winona Ryder, and you're like, yep. Yeah. Saw that coming. Can't blame him. Absolutely incredible. Yeah. To connect it to Sigourney Weaver, Alien Resurrection.
Yeah,
I love her. Not an incredible movie, but an extremely fun movie, and she's a lot of fun in it. They both are. So yeah, I Black Swan. She has a line delivery that's been memed into oblivion, which is just her asking Natalie Portman, "Did you suck his cock?" It's a funny. It's not incredibly funny within context, but incredibly funny out of context. I love Winona Ryder, and it probably was Stranger Things that probably made me fall in love with her, because I watched that the week it came out in 2016. I was intrigued, and I checked it out, and I was like, yeah, let's see, this seems fun. And I saw Winona Ryder, and I was like, she's awesome, you know? Probably was my earliest exposure. I mean, I watched Beetlejuice when I was younger, but
Stranger Things was sick when it came out.
God, when I was 6, I mean, we were the exact age you needed to be to love Stranger Things too. You know, when I was 16 we were 16 when season 1 came out. That was fucking awesome. You know, it was. I mean, for the first 2 or 3 seasons of that show, it was one of my 3 favorite shows ever. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, this is as good as it gets. You know, things happen.
Man, I mean, from that intro song, from the, you know, just hearing that, and you just knew you were in for something. Yeah, and like,
God. It was, you know, we mentioned, you know, some of the shows that I've been intrigued by the possibility of covering in that capacity. Stranger Things is one of them. I think that would be an interesting one to, especially now that it is concluded and it's like freshly ended, it might be an interesting one to kind of reel people back in.
Don't know what happens at all. I'm still I'm in a black box.
It ends, you know.
Okay. It's over. Wow. It is it's like no more seasons. It is officially done, closed.
Yeah.
Ribbon tie.
I'm sure they could. I'm sure that inevitably, when all of these kids who unfortunately will have a tough time finding work because they were in Stranger Things, and everyone will look at them as the kids who were in Stranger Things. I'm sure that in 10 years, Netflix will be like, let's do a legacy sequel series, and they'll do another season of Stranger Things.
This tracks. This does track. But, yeah, it was, I don't know, Winona Ryder. Yeah, that's,
love her.
Yeah, good.
That is how I conclude the 30s, and I cannot wait for the 20s. Now available. Go check it out. Go keep the ball rolling. I've got some heavy hitters, some of which have been mentioned already, some of which have not. Actually, I actually don't know that that's true. Let's see. Yep, I've got a few who have not been mentioned, which is exciting because a few of them definitely will be mentioned by both of us. So, we've got some heavy hitters coming at the top of the list, and I'm so excited. So go ahead, click on over to that other episode. Stick with us. You shan't be disappointed. Go ahead and recite from 30 to 39 your list here.
All right. At 30, I had Robin Williams. 31, Lawrence Fishburne. 32, Sigourney Weaver. 33, Jeffrey Wright. 34, Pedro Pascal. 35, Emilia Clarke. 36, Diego Luna. 37, Timothy Chalamet. 38, Brad Pitt. And 39, Tom Hanks.
Love it. I've got 30, Winona Ryder. 31, Kristen Milioti. 32, Lawrence Fishburne. 33, Samuel L. Jackson. 34, Ethan Hawke. 35, Ewan McGregor. 36, Adam Driver. 37, Forrest Whitaker. 38, Stellan Skarsgård. And 39, Rachel McAdams. With that, I was Colton Robertson. I was joined by Joseph George. Thank you very much, homie.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to be here, homie.
Oh, and it's always a pleasure to have you. Go ahead, click on over to the 20s, and come on back next week for the top 20 actors of ours ever. Thank you very much. Remember, fuck ICE.